Reportedly, Indiana Fever star guard of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, is out for 2 weeks with a quad hamstring injury suffered in their loss to the New York Liberty over the weekend. All right, I'm going to tell you guys why this is actually kind of good news if you're Indiana. You don't want her to get hurt, but you're breathing a sigh of relief. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I think some of the criticism of her has been totally unjust and unwarranted. I think some of the defense of her has been totally unjust and unwarranted too. I want to analyze her game a little bit. Caitlin Clark, and I said this coming out of college, has a turnover problem. Okay, she had 223 turnovers last year, shattering the old record of 145. Now look, that's okay. You're a rookie. Peyton Manning set the record for most interceptions in a season, his rookie year as a quarterback in the NFL. But 223 to 145 is a really big deal. And look, here's the point. It's not like this was a rookie hazing that she was going through, because if you look at her college numbers, she had trouble with this in college. I mean, it's all her three-point shooting. It's all her Player of the Year awards and her All-Americans. It's all the things she was doing to be elite, leading the nation in assists, leading the nation in points, leading the nation in three-point shooting. She also had a bad problem taking care of the basketball. And she always averaged over 4.5 turnovers a game, which is just a little bit too much even for somebody like her, particularly since she doesn't go into the paint a lot. She just pulls up. So she's got this really big issue. And here's where I'm getting at with it. They lost to the New York Liberty last weekend. Before that, Caitlin Clark had a total of 10 turnovers in 3 games. And you had really thought she had improved and stepped up and had taken a step forward from last year. Because once she gets those turnovers under control, yes, she could be as great as possible. Here is the problem. She had 10 turnovers in that 90-88 loss to New York. 10. Now that's insane to have 10 turnovers. And I'm sorry, if you're a Fever fan, you have to start thinking, oh gosh, here it goes again. 10 turnovers. She's going to screw this up, and she is going to cost them. She's not going to develop the way she needs to. Again, she's young. It's only her second year, but she did have 4 years of college. So 10 turnovers, that was just bad, okay? Look, Caitlin Clark has to cut her turnovers down if she's going to be an WNBA superstar. But what that shows, the 10 turnovers, is that maybe the quad hamstring injury explains that a little bit. Because your choices are she's regressing to the problem she had last year, which is a big fear, or she was banged up, had a hammy, and that just caused some problems. I'm now going with the latter because of what I saw her do the first 3 games this year. But again, this flaw of hers has to be addressed, okay? She has a big turnover problem. She's back to averaging 5 a game, which does lead the league because of those 10 against the Liberty. And by the way, I want to point out her three-point shooting has dipped through 4 games this year, because she's shooting 31.4% from 3 now. In terms of advanced metrics, her PER is actually up slightly, even though her true shooting percentage down. And the biggest reason it's up is her turnover percentage for the year so far has dropped 3 points, and her block percentage and her defensive percentage is a little bit different. But I'm sorry, not a defensive percentage. Her block percentage is way up. Now, outside of her PER, though, there is a bit of a drop-off elsewhere, because her win shares are, per 48 minutes, are up at 188, but total win shares down. Makes sense. I think the biggest point is the turnovers and the block percentage. The percentage of both of those have gone up, which helps her a lot. Even if the total rebound percentage is slightly down, steals percentage is slightly down, and assist percentage is slightly down. Also, her usage rate is slightly down, which is kind of alarming. So Caitlin, again, it's early. I mean, it's 4 games into the year. They're 2-2. So I don't think there's too much to worry about at this point. But what I would say with Caitlin Clark is that turnover issue has to be addressed. And that's the biggest reason where you should probably, if you're a Fever fan, be a little happy that she does have an injured quad. As long as this isn't a long-term thing, which I don't think it is. Caitlin Clark hasn't missed a game since high school, so she's been incredibly durable. This would just explain why she hasn't been able to, or why she had the 10 turnovers. And It perfectly explains why she had 10 turnovers in that game. And so I don't think she's actually fully regressing to this point. Look, Indiana is still in incredible shape. I mean, they have Aaliyah Boston, and she was Rookie of the Year, and then Caitlin Clark, who was Rookie of the Year last year. So Indiana's totally fine long term. Caitlin Clark's still not my MVP, though, this year. Vegas has her as the second best MVP odds. I don't think she's going to get there yet. I think there's still a huge ways for her to go before she's in the MVP race, which is fine. I mean, she's young. Again, she's only a second-year player because she's got to work on those turnovers. She's got to get that turnover issue down. I mean, the league is A'ja Wilson's, and everybody else is behind her, and that's just the way it is right now. Caitlin Clark probably will get there soon enough. It's only her second year. I think the biggest thing you need to be happy about, though, again, I would have come on here. I'd been thinking for a while that those turnovers were indicative of her having a real problem and the problem reverting and her reverting back to where she was her rookie year. But because she hurt her quad, again, you never say this, but again, her quad injury is actually a good sign because that would explain the 10 turnovers versus New York. 10 turnovers is not a one-off with her because of what happened last year. Now, if she comes back and she's still doing that again, then you got a big issue. You can't let that keep happening. That's something that you really got to work with her because it's going to be the one thing that could derail her and the team overall. It's a really, really, really big issue, that turnover problem. And if it's not addressed, the Fever won't take the leap they need to take. So her being out with a quad injury, again, I just want to repeat, I know it's the weirdest thing to say, but I do think her being out with a quad injury actually is good news given what has happened.